Making a life worth living and retirement worth having is really what these audiocasts are about. We hope that we'll have a chance to develop them all fully in the next few weeks, but I've got lots of things to report about from my travels in this new life. You see, men of old and men of new are really looking for how do we have adventures in life and how do we make a life worth living and retirement worth having. And practically, we have to look at what do we do for a living? How are we serving our communities? How are we serving other people? And literally, how are we helping them to achieve the goals that they have in their lives for their life's journey? You see, our life's journey and their life journey are very separated. They can sometimes align, they can sometimes cross paths, they can sometimes clash, but in reality, we are all individually, personally interested most in what we are about. And that's the way of the world today. People are very selfish, but they're also very practical in how they want to live their life. And when we're talking about politics today, because elections are starting to brew and people are starting to throw their hat in the race and all these little things, I even met a female politician a few weeks back. She made a phenomenal first impression on me. I was totally ready to go join her forces, volunteer for her, and give her as much marketing help as I possibly could. And then the call came. She had invited me that morning to go to a dinner with her, and I thought, wow, as scruffy looking as I am, and she wants to literally go to dinner with me? Awesome, I'm happy to go. I actually went, did laundry, cleaned myself up, took a bath, did everything I needed to do. When you're traveling, you don't have a lot of time to do that. And as soon as I was ready to put my suit jacket on, she called, or I called her, and she literally told me that she invited other men, that she was not really caring whether I came or not, and I just was beyond offended. And the sad thing is, within 20 minutes of leaving her presence, I came up with everything possible she possibly could have needed to win that election based on reading her poorly designed website. Isn't that a shame? She didn't want a marketing man to help her. But let's talk about what politicians should be talking about. You see, as Americans, we're literally interested in only three things. Those three things are personhood, paperwork, and property. Let me say that one more time. Personhood, paperwork, and property. Now let's really look at that. Our personhood is our mind, our body, our spirit, our soul. However we like to put those in, whatever order we like to put those in. Whatever is related to those 3 to 4 concepts we are most interested in our personhood. I'll talk a little bit more about those in a few minutes. With regard to our paperwork, we are concerned with our finances, with our medical, privacy, and other aspects of our educational life that prove who we are in this world in order to allow us to get the educational opportunities, the professional career opportunities and advancements that we literally need to produce a life worth living and a retirement worth having. You see, I talk a lot about that because at my age, at almost 50 years old, everything in my life has been stolen from me. Every single opportunity in the last 3 years have been ripped from me. Someone cyber hacked my life, someone else has been stealing money from my bank account, and literally the apartment complex where I lived in several different situations was having people come in and take my property. So I'm sort of concerned with those sort of things, but my guess is you're probably really concerned with those things too. So practically we get to property. What is our property? Our property is our homes, usually. Our property is our automobiles or our sports equipment, or literally anything that we have worked very hard to create discretionary dollars in which we earned through hard efforts to produce in our life for fun or family or any other aspect of our life. They are the little knickknacks that we picked up along our life's journey, the adventures we've had with family and friends, and the memories that those little things bring to our lives because we spent a long afternoon or weeks or months even hunting for that one little thing. In my life, I've had people literally getting into my home. Now, let's talk about that for a moment. People's homes are actually houses. Their homes are actually rental properties like apartments. And sometimes in life, their homes are their automobiles if they're a traveling salesperson or if something has really seriously happened in their life where they've lost their actual home, where they live, where they shower, where they shave, where they do little things with their families and their friends, and they literally might have to start all over in life. So when we're talking about politics today, those are the three most important aspects that politicians should literally be talking about. And that's the campaign I was planning to give to this girl named Sarah in the southern aspect of Indiana. If she had literally just talked at those three things, focused on creating storylines and dialogues in those three particular marketing areas of her life and the lives of the people around her, she'd win that election by a landslide. You see, old boy networks don't like to let new girls in. She was a very intelligent woman. She probably could do a phenomenal job, but she might not get the chance because literally her website looks like a regurgitation of another very large person in the Indiana community. I won't say which website it looks like because I can't necessarily prove that, but as a reporter, I'm very well read, have a really good mind about remembering things, and I literally know what people are interested in talking about. You see, most people are not interested in the drugs in the world because most people are not involved in those things. We might have an epidemic planning and going, but that's not the beginning of those things. You see, literally, a lot of that stuff begins with theft. The concept that I'm going to talk about in the coming months. The concept of where our personage begins and someone else's begins. Where our personage ends and where someone else's ends. Where our paperwork begins and ends with the little people who provide us services with regard to those little things. And I got some major pet peeves in those areas, and you probably do too. We're also going to be talking about property and the fact that the big number one issue in the world today is that it begins with people pilfering. People literally sitting at laundromats, in gas stations, and other aspects of the world, and literally thinking that as soon as someone leaves their particular property or automobile, or puts their laundry in a public place, that we have the right to open that up and take something out and claim it as ours. And I've literally seen this throughout my travels, and it makes me physically ill. I cannot believe that the parents in this world have produced those type of children who are now adults playing that game. We're going to talk a lot about the gas game coming up. I'll tell you what to look out for, and I'm definitely going to tell you some tips of how to stay safe as you travel along your journeys for vacations and other aspects of family events, friends, adventures, and other things where you go. You see, the predators are among us now. The infidels are most definitely here, and I'm only going to say that gently because I loved a Japanese gal for a really long time. We produced a wonderful little family life, a great classroom that helped and served many people, but in the end, she decided to move on. And she literally did. It was a great loss of my life. I still miss her every single day because she was a large part of my life, and I'll grieve that a long time, but there are many people in my life that I love. The ones that I love the most, I cannot talk to right now because of the monsters who are trying to destroy my life, and I won't allow them anywhere near the ones that I love. And that's what a man does. He protects his personage, he protects his paperwork, he protects his property, and he protects the personal people who he loves the most. This has been Marketing Minutes, if you will, or Magic and Mayhem, which is what really this series is about. And we're going to be talking a lot about the soul going forward. I've got a fascinating interview coming up with an individual that I think you'll really want to listen to. It's an unusual experience of a life, and I think we don't have enough understanding of that particular issue. I'm going to let you go now, but I really appreciate the time you spend listening to me. If you value these audiocasts and the little comments that I make, and just they make you think, or they make you feel, or they make you laugh, or they make you just go, what a wacko, or whatever it may be that I get expressed that you sort of take as an intriguing little idea, I'd really appreciate you looking at a product called ProTandem. It is literally an affiliated marketing sort of product, a relationship marketing sort of product. And what that really means is that I'm telling you about it. I'm literally saying, hey, there's this product out there that really works on the cellular level to help military folks and other people who need a lot of energy, athletes, etc., and just regular folks like me who are old and gray and forgetful and whatever the heck we are, and arthritis or whatever it might be. And we've learned this. We can't say it does it for everyone because that would be illegal underneath compliance rules and quality assurance and all those good things that makes the product legal in the 50 United States and about 7 or 8 other countries in the world now. But in reality, it works on the cellular level. And what it can do is, it's proven to do, is to reduce oxidative stress by 40% in literally 30 days. Now, you might not know what all oxidative stress is. I can't always tell you because I'm not a physician and I'm not one of the hundreds of people who've studied this product with regard to various illnesses and other things. And I certainly can't tell you that it prevents or prevents or cures any illnesses or any maladies or anything like that. But what we do know is that practically the people who get on it never get off, because it makes them feel better in some way, shape, or form. And some of them don't even feel any different at all, but they just want to make sure they're doing their best to prevent old age from hampering their life. Now, if that makes sense to you, it literally is an inexpensive product to have preventive maintenance in your health system, in your health care. And literally, all I'm saying is, hey, as a network marketer, I'm saying, look, this is what I'm looking at. This is what works for me. You may or may not be interested in it, but go out and take a look at it for your own family, your own life, your own cellular health. And if you so choose that you like it, then purchase is optional. That's all it means. If you think it's a bunch of bozo and malarkey, then don't purchase it. But if you like my show and you like the product, then please, by all means, purchase the product. It gives me a little food money for the way, a little gas money, which we most definitely need today, and I'll be talking more about that later. This has been Blake Ensign with Blaze Communications LLC. I really appreciate that you've taken the time to listen to me today.